Hello, today I'm going to share with you my review of the HP DeskJet 3752 all-in-one printer. The reason I'm sharing this review with you today is that about 6 months ago, my printer decided to go on the fritz. It was an old clunky model and I knew it had to go. But when I went online to try to find people that could share information about compact printers, I couldn't find a lot. So I'm hoping this review might be helpful to those of you that are looking for something that needs to be portable. In my work, I actually have to take my computer and my printer with me all over. I work outside of the home, I work outside of my office, and it's really handy and convenient to have a printer that comes with me. But I wanted something that was also reliable. So I started online to look at what choices I might have, and I was impressed right away with two things with this particular 3752 printer. The first one was that as I looked at the advertising, it was billed as the world's smallest all-in-one printer, so that caught my eye immediately. The other thing that impressed me is that on Amazon, the reviews for the printer had a 4.6 out of 5 rating, which to me is pretty impressive with the number of reviews that were on there, and that told me that it was probably something relatively reliable. The other reason I was attracted to this particular one is because I've used HP products in the past and have been very happy with them. And in my instance with this particular printer, which I'll show you here in a moment, I haven't had any issues with paper jams or difficulty with printing. It has been an absolute breeze. Let me share a little bit about the features and the reason why I picked it because of its small size. So I'm going to show you here real quick. So the printer itself, it's down here, is about 15.5 inches long. So it's about the size of, not unlike other printers, but the difference is that it's only 5.5 inches tall and it's only 7 inches deep. So as you can see, it is pretty darn tiny, right? In addition to that, it only weighs 5.99 pounds, which is a very lightweight printer. The reason that's important to me is because as I take it in and out of hotel rooms or in and out of offices, I'm able to drop it in a box like this, and notice the carrying handles here, so I'm able to carry it. It is a piece of cake. With one hand I can put it away and then carry it to wherever I need to go without it weighing a ton, and I can actually do it with one hand, which was important to me with all the stuff I have to often carry inside and out. Now, when you take the printer out of the box, it's fairly simple to assemble per se, and then get ready for printing. So you simply pull up the paper tray here. You drop the paper down into the paper tray section, and then you pull out the little catch tray for the paper that will come out when you're done. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I've already plugged it in. I mentioned earlier that it was wireless. And that was important to me for two reasons. One is I don't want to necessarily always have to worry about a USB cord. And then the second is it prints wirelessly from my smartphone, which is super handy for me because there are times at which it's very convenient to just hit that print button on your phone and not have to worry about finding your computer. So when you're done, it simply goes back just as easily as it came together. The paper tray slides back in. The little catch tray slides back in here, and it's ready to go. As a matter of fact, there's enough room in the box that I don't even disconnect the cord. I just simply unplug it, drop it in the box, and it's ready to go into my car. So the next thing I want to show you are the features on the computer itself. And we did talk about the fact that it was an all-in-one printer. So we know obviously that it prints. That's primarily what I use it for, but it also functions as a scanner and also as a copier. Now, it's not a super fast copier. It prints 8 pages per minute in black, and it prints 5.5 pages of color a minute. So it's not super fast, but it is more than adequate for what I need, because most of the time when I'm printing customized letters, and that speed is not an issue for me whatsoever. But it's not zippy. It's not really super fast. So let me show you a few features on the control panel. So on the control panel itself, we have the window that shows the numeric quantity here for printing if you were going to be copying, I guess. And then we also have the wireless indicator here and shows the strength of bars between, I have 4 bars in there right now, so I have a nice strong signal. And then also in here, it might be difficult to see, is the indicator about how much ink is left in each of your cartridges. There is a little orange light on here, so that tells me that one of my ink cartridges is lower, and it looks like the color might need to be replaced sometime soon. And I'll come back to ink cartridges in a minute. Then we have the resume button, which would, this orange light will go away once the paper goes in there. The cancel button, of course. This information button is one that you press in conjunction with several others here. Say it's the web services. When you push those two together at the same time, it prints a piece of paper that tells you what web services are about and then how to make them work. So the information button is nice to have. Of course, the wireless button here as well. As I said, this is web services here, Wi-Fi direct. These are both on and off buttons for those two features. The other thing that this printer does, which I mentioned, was do copies. This is the button for the color, and this would be the button for the black. So let's go back to ink cartridges for a moment. One of the things that I look at when I purchase a printer is the cost of ink cartridges. It's really frustrating to buy a printer and then find out that the ink cartridge costs more than the printer did to start with. So I looked into this before I purchased it, and of course it takes an HP 65. The 65, there's a black and a color, and I looked them up on Amazon today, and the black is at $15.10 to replace, and the color is at $16.02. So very reasonable for ink cartridges. You could go with the XL cartridges, which cost a little more, but will give you a longer life on your cartridges themselves. So again, ink cartridges, not a big deal on this particular one. Another thing that is of importance, of course, would be the cost. This particular printer is available for about $119 with free shipping at this time. They also have some refurbished ones if that's your deal and you don't mind working with a refurbished printer. Those are less expensive. But in all, I would say for me, this printer has been very, very good. In the last 6 months, again, I've had no paper jams, no issues with printing. It's just been a really fantastic printer for me, so I would highly recommend it. I do not work for HP. I've got no skin in the game, but know that it's something that has performed very well for me, and I would buy it again in a heartbeat. And when this one peters out one day, I probably will replace it with something very similar. Thank you so much for listening.